I'm not sure what part of my story's crazier. The fake signatures, the late-night break-ins, or the moment I realized my land wasn't just dirt and fence posts, but a damn battleground. You want quiet in Arizona? You better be ready to fight for it. I sure didn't move out here looking for trouble, just wanted sun space and silence. What I got was a war with an HOA that thought they could run roughshod over the wrong guy. The day I bought my 10-acre spread in Peniel County, I thought I'd finally beaten the system. No nosy neighbors, no city noise, no HOA newsletters barking about mailbox colors or which holiday flag I flew. I'd worked 17 years as a DoD engineer, spent half my life figuring out how to keep buildings standing in places most folks would be scared to visit. You learn to love structure, but you also learn to hate pointless rules. My land. It sat just outside the reach of Whitetail Heights, a development so bland it looked copy-pasted from every suburban desert project you've ever seen. Soulless stucco boxes, fake grass, chirpy community progress signs nailed everywhere like we needed reminding. I checked, rechecked, then checked again. I wasn't part of them. My deed, my survey, my official exemption ironclad. No HOA, no problem. HOA, no. 6 months after I moved my modular home onto that dusty stretch, life was damn near perfect. Sun on my face, solar panels humming, prototype houses taking shape. Then buzz. My front gate. I look up, and there it is, a white Lexus SUV buffed to a mirror shine just outside my line. Out steps this woman, mid-50s, not a hair out of place, and a smile so polished you'd think she practiced it for the courtroom. Mr. Coulter, she calls. That was my first mistake answering. She's Karen Howley, self-declared HOA president, and she walks right up like she owns the ground beneath my boots. We like to keep good relationships with our extended neighbors, she says, her voice all honey. Extended. I'm not part of your HOA, I tell her plain as day. But she's ready, shows me a folder with a form, asks for 3 sets of keys to my gate for emergency community access. Claims it's about safety, fire season, all that neighborly concern. I tell her no. Not happening. I'm not giving keys to anyone, least of all a committee I never joined. Her smile freezes for a beat, then returns. Well, that's disappointing. I hope you don't regret being difficult. She glides back to her Lexus, and I add another lock and a 4th no trespassing sign to my fence. I should have known the storm was just starting. 2 days later, a letter lands in my mailbox, all official-looking cream paper stamped logo. It welcomes me as a community integrated property owner under their so-called extended perimeter agreement, asks for my keys, gives me 72 hours, vague threats about administrative procedures and municipal ordinances. I don't scare easy, but something about that letter made my teeth grind. I call my attorney Morgan Lane, who laughs and says it's all theater, no legal weight. They're hoping you fold. Don't. So I send a certified letter, make it clear, no, I'm not participating, and they have no claim on my land. I figure that's that. I was wrong. Next, a bright red envelope arrives, urgent community compliance notice. Inside, an acknowledgement of HOA integration, allegedly signed by me, notary stamp, and all dated 3 months before I even met Karen. The kicker. The notary license was long expired. A quick search proves it forged. That's when I bring everything to the county recorder's office, lay it out for a clerk named Angela. She checks the database, shakes her head. No annexation, no record, and my land's still separate. If they file this anywhere, that's fraud. You should call the sheriff. She gives me an official statement verifying my exemption, and I send copies to Morgan, who says it's time to go on offense, cease and desist notice of pending legal action. But the escalation isn't done. The next morning, my gate's been busted open, chains cut, padlock cracked, a brand new plastic sign hammered in the dirt. Future HO Park Whitetail Heights Community Nature Access. Survey markers, ribbons, boot tracks. I take photos, call the sheriff, and Deputy Rollins comes out. Looks like forced entry, he says, bagging up a broken key fragment. You want a report number? Damn right I do. That night, security lights catch 2 hooded figures by my back gate, caught on camera running when the lights snap on. I file the footage, double down on security, shipping container across the front gate, concrete blocks, steel cable. Let them try. Then the HOA cranks up the pressure and public flyers stapled everywhere, painting me as the outsider, blocking a future park from local families. They spell my name wrong, but the message is clear. Get this guy out. By Sunday, a whole crowd gathers at my fence line, signs in hand. Karen's there on her soapbox, bullhorn in hand, accusing me of stealing land meant for the Green Corridor Plan. Says she's got paperwork agreements, none of it real, all of it forged. The deputy keeps the peace, but I can see folks wavering. That afternoon, 2 teens try to plant a sign for a future swing set zone on my land. I walk out, phone up, and tell them to leave. They back off, escorted by the deputy. The HOA turns to social media, painting me as a radical who refuses community safety plans. The last straw, a certified lawsuit, lands on my kitchen table. The HOA sues me for unlawful private occupation of green space, slaps me with claims of adverse possession, demands demolition of my temporary structure. They even attach fake agreements, more forgeries, and a community support petition signed by folks who thought it was about restoring trails. Morgan's furious. We're countersuing. Full damages, harassment, fraud. We build our case photographs, sworn statements from the developer, notary, and county records. Morgan even hires a forensic document examiner who proves the signatures are traced, not written. By now, word's spreading. My neighbor Tom shows up apologizing for signing the petition. They told us it was about a park. Didn't know they were trying to take your land. That's when the tide shifts. People start doubting Karen, questioning what they've been told. But public opinion's not enough. I'm aiming to win in court. In the courthouse, Morgan's a force of nature, lays out the whole mess. My original deed, the fraudulent documents, security footage, testimony from Angela, the former HOA assistant, who quit rather than shred evidence. Karen's side tries to present another fake agreement, this one with a dead man's name. The judge isn't fooled. Morgan presents an email where Karen tells her nephew to add Gregory's name. He's dead. No one will check. The judge orders Karen detained for questioning, refers the whole case for criminal investigation, and dissolves the Whitetail Heights HOA on the spot. Weeks later, Karen's indicted real estate fraud, conspiracy, forgery, criminal trespass. She gets 12 years. Her nephew and 2 board members go down too. The HOA's gone. The neighborhood votes in a voluntary council, no more dues, no more fines, just a yearly BBQ and a group chat. And me, I use my experience to help other landowners protect themselves. Teach veterans and low-income families how to read plats, verify deeds, and stand up to predatory HOAs. A year after the trial, my land is quiet again. The steel gate I built still stands, sun glinting off the words, "Private land, no access, no HOA ever." The prototype homes behind me now house 6 veterans. That so-called future park is a research site, solar arrays, gardens, a mile of perimeter trail in peace. The irony. All the HOA's efforts to turn my land into a public park ended up creating a true haven, just not the one they wanted. As for Karen, she's where she belongs, and folks around here finally understand what it means to protect what's yours. Sometimes justice doesn't come with a parade, but with a quiet morning, a locked gate, and a sign that says freedom lives behind this fence. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line? When does standing your ground become a duty, not just a right? Drop your story. Below, tell me if you think justice was served or if you've had your own run-in with power-hungry HOAs. And remember, sometimes the only thing standing between your land and chaos is the nerve to say no.